You know, for sure. You're now listening to the Mind Eminent Terry's Moon, Flight Buster Archangel Uriel, and I'm here to carry out God duties and motherfucking responsibilities. And right now I want to speak upon dimensions, for people to understand dimensions in a way that you could, because like scientists and things of that nature, what's going on here is they're trying to give you the mathematical equations of it. So the mathematical equations, look at the mathematical equations as a scientist trying to figure out the brain and how the brain receive information and start to make visuals of these informations that it's receiving in the brain through the eyes and things of that nature, through the light and the conscious that's coming from the light. Now think about dimensions in that aspect. So when you look at it, like you say we in 3D, or then when you go to 4D, this is where you get the concept of 720D, you know, things being in more definition as far as the external physical realm. So you could align so kind of take that as the brain and look at it like that's how you're going to perceive things, the way you perceive things now in the third dimension, as far as physical terms and the way scientists are trying to break it down. But what I'm going to break it down as how you truly understand it from a behind the scenes realm. You see what I'm saying? So let's break this down. Let's start off with 0. Now 0 is not a number. It just add more space. And like I told you, space is the spirit. Space is where everything comes out of. So when you got your space within a space, you got your own perception to be an individual space, an individual spirit. And anytime a spirit becomes an individual spirit, it is vibrating and it becomes a soul. This is how you become the one, the individual. You see what I'm saying? So now you are in the one dimension. So anytime you are too one-dimensional, you could be too selfish or too self-centered and things of that nature. But for the most part, it's your spiritual nature that you need to understand. So that's like the first kind of shapeless and formless body that your spirit kind of take, but it's so light that it's like shapeless and formless. Right? Now your spirit don't become this because we know that your spirit don't stay with the body. You see what I'm saying? So for the most part, don't get lost into trying to call the spirit something physical. Now let's just break this down. Now as you become an individual spirit, which is a soul, now you are one. You have the one. Now one always has to go into a womb. Now a womb is nothing more but a bigger version of the one. So the 2 is just actually the one that been there or sustained itself before that one came about. So for the most part, 2 helps you how to understand and relate, understand duality, make you understand what you're perceiving outside of your things of that nature. So 2 is the womb, is duality, is the Satan, is the devil, is the density. But that's all getting religious talk. It's really just this you as an individual spirit, as a soul, going into a womb, which is 2. Then once you come out that womb, here's the 3. Now you're in that world. You're in that 360. So now you become a world. So you are a world now. You are a 3. You are a sun. That's what the sun is. So 1, 2, 3 was a process for you to come out as a body that has a soul in it with a spiritual nature. You see what I'm saying? Now we're going to get a little deeper. Let's talk about the 4th dimension. So this is all going in through aspects. So when it's like 4, 5, 6, 4, 5, 6, you're just repeating 1, 2, 3 on a higher level. So 4, 5, 6 is nothing more but 1, 2, 3 on a higher level. But these bodies is higher bodies that you could kind of perceive for yourself. So when you look at it like this, as the 4th dimension, you have to learn about the 3rd dimension, which is the 3rd dimension is your surroundings, your subconscious, your body, your 360, your circumstance. So now you have to learn the things that's in it. This one, when it becomes 4th dimension. So learning everything outside of you in this 360 becomes 4th dimension. So this is how we get things like technology. This is how we get things like astrology, astronomy, because we're trying to learn and gain information about the world outside of this 360 that we are in. It's not outside. We're trying to gain information about this 360, and the 360 is 3rd dimension. So anytime we're trying to learn about the things that's in the external realm, we're going outside and using our lighter body, which is our mental body, to kind of perceive what's going on there. And the better we know how to gain information about that kind of shit, we could come up with technology or things of that nature. But this is how we indulge into the 4th dimension. Now the 4th dimensional actual physical body is people like Tupac, people like the dude who just died in a wheelchair. What's his name? I forgot his name. But they're just going into a higher body, but it's just doing a 1 again. But in a higher body concept is more experience. So it'd be like these people's ideas, thoughts, and concepts will still be able to be played out through a multitude of people in our realm, which is the 3rd dimension. So when we talk about the 4th dimension, this is like oversouls. You know what I'm saying? So this is real shit. But it's just beings living their life on a higher level. But for the most part, before we get lost into that, as an oversoul, you're repeating one, and like I said, one has to go into two, which is a womb. So 4 is going into 5, which is a planet. That's just a womb on a higher level. So that'll be, planets are feminine stars, and once you go into the womb, you develop enough information there, then you come out as a 6th dimension, which is a star. Now, which is a sun. So it's repeating the same way how you got the 1, 2, 3 here. It's the same way how there. It's just more experiencing of it. So it'll be 4, 5, 6, boom. Then you are being there now. You are a higher version of 3. You are a higher sun. But see, this is giving you the concept now, right? Since you are the 1, 2, 3 in the 3rd dimension, you are a world within the world, within the 4, 5, 6 world. So that means you are in that world. You see what I'm saying? So when you wanna talk about scientists, they'll lead you to believe that if you was to ask a scientist what was the first star, they'll lead you to believe that first star either died or is somewhere traveling within space, which doesn't make any sense. If you talking to a scientist, right, and you ask them where was the first star, and if they say we're in it, then that's a smart scientist. I will listen to that scientist before anything, because you're not understanding that we're in shit. So for the most part, if you was to say what was the first star, you would have to say we're in that first star. So yeah, you would have to say, okay, what was the second star that came out of it? The light where y'all be seeing that nothing gad picture, the light, that's just what they talking about. That's the second. That's the sun. You know what I'm saying? The smaller representation that came out of the extra representation. So for the most part, the reason why y'all would need to find a second sun, because in this realm of reality, y'all always need some sense of duality, because y'all always need to relate something to something else. So for the most part, this is where y'all miss the point a lot of times, and not understand that if you was to ask somebody what was the first star, the smart answer would be like to say that we're in it, because you're in a star now and you have a bunch of stars within you, which is a bunch of your blood cells, motherfucker. So for the most part, that's how you need to understand, get out of that scientific knowledge, because you'll be getting separating shit, thinking minerals and bacteria and gas and particles and then nuclear stars and planet, when everything is lights, everything is stars in this physical realm, whether they're high or low vibrational, big or small, micro, macro. Now, when we want to break down now as far as the 4, 5, 6, boom, then the 7, 8, 9, you do that again. You know what I'm saying? So really, when you jump into the 7th dimension, you're doing the 1 and the 4 again on a higher level. So like I said, you're becoming an individual spirit, which is a soul. So as the 7th dimension, that's a solar system. That's you realizing as a sun that you control more than just the head, that you got arms, head, that you understanding the full potential of yourself. So you become the 7th dimensional being, which that's more angelic and things of that nature. It's unbalanced, but it's more angelic and more tied to the spiritual nature and leaving the physical realm. You see what I'm saying? So in that form and body, you need to go into another womb. The womb will be a galaxy. That's the 8th dimension. Then once you go into the womb of an 8th dimension, you see what I'm saying? You go into that womb and then you get birthed out as the 3 in that realm, a universe. But the universe ain't nothing but a bigger sun. So like I said, once you understand these motherfucking suns, the universe will appear to look like a black hole, which all y'all see is darkness. And then you see a bunch of lights within it, which y'all see greater lights, which that would be the 6th dimension. And then you in the 3rd dimension, you a smaller version of the same shit. You see what I'm saying? So when you ask a scientist, where's the first star, he has no choice but to say we in it. Now the universe, that's the biggest star, motherfucker, right? That's the bigger star that you become. Right? And then after that, you can spit out in the world of the other guys. That's why I think this universe right here, this biggest star that we are, is Lucifer. And all y'all are just following his way of how to reach the egg. But by doing that, you're giving him power to reach the egg, then his follower to reach the egg, then whoever the best follower, y'all, it's like y'all taking turns on how to reach egg. And y'all passing down the knowledge and shit, where you ain't really got to do that. But for the most part, that's a 9th dimensional being, which is a universe, which ain't nothing but a bigger sun in that world. You see what I'm saying? So when you break it all down, you go on a higher scale than that. You know what I'm saying? So the 7th, 8th, 9th dimension is correlated more to the frequency, but we don't understand that body. So the reason why we call it a spirit is because those are lighter bodies. But as a spirit, we know that it's not the spirit, it's a body, because we start to give it names like angels and demons and shit like that. And that's just a spirit in a body that like to vibrate low or high. So that spirit created a shape and form for itself. You see what I'm saying? Now for the most part, you got the 7th, 8th, 9th, which will be the frequency. Then you got the 4, 5, 6. Those dimensional beings control the subconscious realm. That's why we get into a shit like astrology and things of that nature. Then the 1, 2, 3, we control the physical realm. The most dense, the most physical, the most smallest, the most heavy shit realm. You know what I'm saying? And we understand we have spirits from gaining information from higher intellectual beings. But if you're not vibrating on those frequencies, you won't know how to tap in. So 7, 8, 9 will seem blank to you because you don't have enough awareness of the 4, 5, and 6 dimensional beings in order to see how they see things to perceive that next level. Then once you go to that next level, it'll do it all over again. So it's always going to be a realms of realities that you got to understand. You see what I'm saying? So as far as the dimensions, that's how you have to perceive dimensions. Now, if you want to look at it on a spiritual level, and look at it as a numerology level, right? A person who is one-dimensional can end up being selfish and only think about themselves. But they know how to take care of themselves better than others. A number 2 person is a person who know how to relate and create balance, but they may create a lot of turbulence within their relationships in order to gain that knowledge also. A third person, or if you want to say a 3 person, or the 3 energy, that's what you'll be carrying if you got a numerology 3, is you a person who is always aware about your surroundings. So you always like to indulge into things in your surroundings, maybe your neighborhood, maybe concepts, maybe jobs and things, and you're very well rounded and very helpful. 4th dimensional person is a person who always like to add outer thoughts, mental thoughts, concepts and ideas to what's actually going on. So even though they may not always be in reality like the 3, these people know how to add things and add ideas to it. And if it can take shape and form, this is why they say the mind and matter. Quit putting your mind on things that don't matter. And you know it don't matter because the shit that your mind is on, if shit don't take shape and form from that shit, those shits don't matter. You can't make no money or you can't make nothing out of those thoughts that you be having on your mind. So be careful with having your mind on shit that don't matter. Because you be 9 times out of 10, you got your mind on shit that's never going to turn into matter. See what I'm saying? It's like they play tricks on your minds, but you got to dive into it. But the 4th dimensional person, you'll be a 4th dimensional. But if you're a 4 numerology type of person, then you're carrying the energy of wanting to add to business, add to shapes and form, add color, add imagination. So you like to add, you like to participate. You may not always be reliable, but you like to participate here and there. Whoever got the better energy that you want to participate to, you'll go to that. But you're very excellent when it comes to mind and idea. When it comes to 5, these people are perfectly balanced, but these people can be unbalanced by being too stuck and rut in their own position at times, to the point that they create catastrophic situations in their life. But a 5 person, you know what I'm saying, is a person who can see from both sides, but also join in, but still have themselves. So these are boss people too. They know how to be worked and taken advantage of till they get into the position that they can work others and take advantage of others. The 5 people know about business, and they know how to say it's all business and not personal. Now 6. So a 5, you need a 5 energy to sustain yourself in any realm of reality. I don't give a fuck if you're in a 9th dimension. Once you get there's going to be another version of a unconscious, subconscious, and conscious realm. An unconscious yin yang. It's going to be another version there. You're going to have to still how to anchor, learn how to anchor. You know, so the earth element plays out in all realms of realities. There's fire, water, earth, air. Get into your motherfucking elements, motherfuckers. Get out of this lostness and shapes that y'all be into. Now, when we talk about a 6th dimensional person, this is a person that could be a leader. Even if they're dumb or not, people just like to follow them because they have a certain glow, they have a certain shine, because they're able to create imaginations. So a person, a lot of times they become leaders. But reason why I said it don't matter if they're dumb or smart, because the way they know how to create imaginations make other people see it and pay attention to, and want to see that thing in fruition. So a person who is very dumb and very violent and things of that nature, a person who is a 6 energy, people would like to see that from this person. People will even remember that, like, oh, this person was a good killer or something like that. But even if it's positive, it don't matter. But the 6 energy always enables a person to have shine, glow, and have the ability to gain attention and traction. You know what I'm saying? Based upon their actions and the way they see things. But they have to make sure they don't let that same energy destruct them. Because if they're in an environment that support a bunch of negative things, then these are the people who lead others into destructive moments. Now, when we get to the 7th dimensional being, now, if you're carrying a 7 energy, you're carrying an unbalanced, but still at the same time, you're here higher knowledge and you're here to perceive things and not always be lost in animalistic nature. So as a person who's a number 7, you're always trying to add meanings and reasonings meanings and reasons to the shapes and forms or this illusion that you see in front of you, aka the people, places, and things. So even though you're very wise, you may be very careless and reckless and may act baby-like or gullible, but these experiences give you more wisdom than anybody else, to the point that you the type of person that, if you're a number 7, you will be the type of person who prevent more experiences than have them. So you'll have other people who try to force things on you, and then it'll make you look like you're scared to experience at times. But at times, you just have a sense of wisdom that others don't. But it can hurt you also because you're still in the physical realm. So having that number 7 on can hurt you, because in the third dimension, you're still here to experience, to add information to your spirit. So just jumping into your spirit and not experiencing anything, you're still going to have a default to your energy as a number 7. So even though you're wise, that wiseness may be too smart for your own good, and you may cut off a lot of your experiences that you're here to experience. Number 8 people. Now this is dealing with time, experience, and being able to sit in its pleasures. Being able to experience the fruits and labors of what it's putting out. So these people are very sustainable. These people know how to have consistency. These people know how to stay down, but they may end up stubborn a lot of times. They may end up liking rulership over others and things of that nature. So people have to pay attention. If you are a number 8 person, you're very consistent, but you could be very authoritative also. And you like to make everything take time that doesn't actually have to. But in this realm, that's very important, because things do take time, and the more time you put to something, the bigger the shape and form it comes out. So the people with 8th energy know how to have consistency and sustainability, but just make sure you don't get lost into that sustainability. You know what I'm saying? And this is where you get that concept of 7 is scared of 6, because 6, 8, no, yeah. Wait, 8 is scared of 7 because 7, 8, 9. You know what I'm saying? Because, see, even though 7 will lack experiences a lot of times as a spirit, it actually swallows up and swallow up all the other things and become the whole galaxy. So 8 will be scared because 7, 8, 9. It ate all the wisdom and knowledge of that realm of reality and try to gain authority over a lot of things. So angelic beings, that's how they become devils. And that's how that concept came out also. Because even though a spirit is light, so it's inexperienced, it ate 9. It ate a lot of wisdom and knowledge and took that and tried to rule authority and become lords, Lord, down to the ground. So this is what y'all need to understand also. So be careful with anything that's tied to L. I don't care if it's EL, law, language, love, linguistics, lore, lords, lore down, lore, you know what I'm saying? All that shit, illusion, you know what I'm saying? Hallucinations, all that motherfucking shit is controlled by Elohim, and all motherfuckers are lords. So you need to understand that. They're gods compared to you, but not the overall. So that's what you need to understand too. So when you jump into a 9th dimension, which is a number 9 person, which that's my name and my path, like almost all my shit, number 9 person, and even Uriel. And I was born on Wednesday, and I created Libra, Scorpio, and Sagittarius, because I had to use air, water, and fire for my space, because, you know, I control the motherfucking East. The East, the motherfucker with motherfuckers, not the motherfucking East, but the West. I rule the motherfucking West. You know what I'm saying? That's why I don't be hating on motherfucking Western science. I know how to add all the science to it. You see what I'm saying? But as Archangel Uriel, you know, I'm about to give y'all some wisdom right now. I'm about to give y'all some number 9 person wisdom right now. As Archangel Uriel, right? I rule this motherfucking space right here. So this space right here, check this out. When y'all motherfuckers give life and y'all birth into this realm of reality, y'all motherfuckers go to Michael. Because Michael brings spring. He spring things in. He ruled that space. He rules those energies. He used fire. Earth, and air to correlate that little space. So that's how you get spring space and shit like that. So you go to a spiritual warfare, you get birth. You come in and see the rising and shit, but then you rise. You rise up and then you go meet motherfucking Archangel Raphael, where you motherfucking heal your ass, because you've been going through all these motherfucking spiritual warfares. And then your ass experienced a little bit. You can sit on your throne and things of that nature and have your best life. But you know, Raphael can help that. So Raphael, she or he, that's my motherfucking sister brother right there. You can get into this motherfucker. But see, now it's getting ready for your ass to transform. So now your ass is getting ready to fall. So I control the motherfucking whole fall. I control the motherfucking darkness. I get your ass prepared and give you enough wisdom and knowledge to understand how to die. So when your ass die, you die effectively and not die and bring your ass back to the motherfucking realm that you was actually in. So I teach your ass how to die. I make your ass don't be scared about death. You ain't scared about shit, nigga. I control Fucus, all these motherfuckers. I make sure I give you enough, I relate enough knowledge, air, in a deep way with the fixed water in order for your ass to get multiple views of wisdom, aka mutable fire, in order for your ass to have aspect on when your ass getting ready to transform from that mutable fire and go into motherfucking Gabrielle. Gabrielle's the motherfucking death. That's my motherfucking sister right there. You see what I'm saying? So once you go into the motherfucking death, you dead. But this is why Gabrielle always represents people who got this motherfucking God sense or God crisis or God complex and things of that nature, because your ass is dead. So it's the transformation water shapeless flow to get your ass mentally prepared, so when your ass getting ready to rise again like spring and go back to Michael, your ass died effectively. But Gabrielle, she'll take you through that time. I just showed your ass how to die. Now once you go through the fall, you ice cold and dead and ice, and that's real hell and Kabbalah and all that shit. Then your ass rise up in the goddamn heat again and take these motherfucking light bodies again and become a motherfucking spirit and go back to motherfucking Archangel Michael. But us motherfucker, we control this motherfucking equinoxes, equator, motherfucker, all that fucking shit, and that's how the fuck we get it. So for the most part, as a ninth dimensional being, this is a person who have wisdom and knowledge over the whole totality of this realm of reality that we are in. And that's just this realm. You're going to go to a lot of different realms. That's why you have a zero, and then you have the negative, and then you have the positive, and then you just going and shifting in when you're going into these motherfucking realms. So you know what I'm saying? That's how the shit play out. That's how the motherfucking shit go when you talk about dimensions and how these dimensional numbers play out through you. That's the frequency you carry. I carry the ninth dimensional frequency. So I really don't give a fuck about none of the motherfucking shapes and forms that's being manifested down this motherfucker. See what I'm saying? Because I got true wisdom and knowledge on how that frequency is playing out before it got to the third dimension. And so people don't know that when y'all count from 1, 2, 3 because of how low y'all is and how many numbers y'all got to count. But actually 9 is first. So 9 is first. You come from that realm, and this is why 9 look like the 0. Because it's like the spiral. It's the spiral. Then once you break yourself off of that and become an individual, that's where the 9 came from, as in far as us correlating through 1 through 9. But really 9 is first, and everything from the 0. Then once you spiral out of that 0, it looked like a 9. But then once the further you go out, then it becomes 1. And it's like that tethering cord. So now you become an individual spirit from that overall spirit, which is a soul. So you got your little string. So every shape and form that you've been trying to create look like a string. This is why we create things that like sperm and fluids and spiders and shit like that. And spiders is, so if you in a home with a lot of sex going on in that home, y'all gonna have a lot of spiders going on in that home also. So it's a lot of different mechanisms and energies that go with this, but the spirit is just creating a bunch of different shapes and forms to mimic the spirit. And that shape and form is the most lightest one, and then it has to create more densities and forms and lights and things of that nature in order to come into these. But the most lightest one is like gas and particles. Those are when you act as concepts and ideas to bring other people together and shit like that when you in the ninth realm. And then you get to act as that realm as down here, and then like down here, and then you slowly create that triangle to the third dimension. So it's like the ninth dimension, boom, 8th, 7th, boom, then you got that wide space right there will be 6, 4, 6, 5, 4. Then boom, the end of the triangle, you got just the 3 down here. This the 1, 2, and 3, and you like crystallize yourself and shit, like in all kind of shit. It's deep. I could take y'all in so many different realms of realities of this shit, but I gotta stop the fucking video. Flight bus, bitch. Goddamn air.